Are you sure about this, Ray?
Yeah, totally. Why? Do you not like it? You hate it, don't you?
No, not at all.
The one time I write something, the one time, and it's god-awful. Dad was right. I should have stuck to selling carpets. Now there was something I was an ace at.
You hated selling carpets. It's why we became detectives.
But I knew what I was doing, dang it. I knew fabric count, patterns. I could sell a carpet to any person or eldritch entity out there.
Come on now, you're being childish. Here, how about this? I'll just read through this, we'll record it and everything, and we'll just see how it sounds. The worst thing, the absolute worst thing that could happen is that we have to do some rewrites. Rome wasn't built in a day, right?
You're right. You're always right. Thanks, man. All right, just read through it from the top and we'll see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe it will be the best thing ever written.
Well,
just shut up and read before my confidence withers away.
Such a drama queen.
What was that?
Previously on Ray Costly and the Court of Red, Bellix was trying to convince our good friend Eldritch Jenny to join him and Jenny's biological father, the Mad King Archimedes. Meanwhile, in a biscuit factory just outside of Atlas Park, Ray, the handsome yet transparent detective, and his equally as handsome zombie body, other Ray, had found not only Jenny's adoptive father, Dale the janitor, but also a mysterious, meanie-faced man by the name of DETHORN. Really, Ray? Meanie face? He doesn't even have a face.
How'd that fish tank get a comic before me? Before us?
Anyway, DETHORN works for the Manhattan Project, a secret underground agency in charge of keeping the scientific and supernatural worlds in check. He had been studying and watching Archimedes for a long time, and now he's come in to stop the Mad King before he can get his hands on Eldritch Jenny. Apparently, those tentacles trapped inside Jenny's mouth are the key to destroying this world, and the infinite amount of worlds on the web. What's the web?
I don't know. I saw DeThorne mention it in one of his books. One of his several books.
You are really upset with him, aren't you?
He's a stupid, mean, gosh darn fish tank for a head who everyone seems to like. Of course I'm upset. He's such a gosh darn...
All right, folks, I'm just gonna try and finish this before Ray has an aneurysm. Wait, can ghosts even have those? I'm still not super sure how ghost rules work. So, the two Rays and DeThorn were going to leave to get to the police station where Jenny was being held, but a monster crashed through the warehouse, taking out DeThorn and Jenny's El Camino in the process. Now, the two Rays and, I guess, Dale, have to find a way to defeat this monster and to get to Jenny before the Mad King gets his hands on her. It's gonna be an exciting, bumpy ride on the finale of Ray Costly and the Court of Red.
Stupid fish tank.
Get over it already, gosh!
Inside the biscuit warehouse, the impossible had happened. For years, ever since his transformation, Ray Costly believed that his ghostly form was free from the risk of damage. With this idea of being untouchable, Ray had developed a certain air of calm and certainty. No matter how bad the stakes got, no matter how imposing the villain, Ray was absolutely sure that he could never, ever get hurt again. Besides, he had his zombie body to take the blows for him, and other Ray knew how to take a beating, having become the muscle of the duo. Yes, Ray believed he was finally untouchable. And the beast in front of him gladly proved just how wrong Ray had been all of these years.
Ray!
Other Ray watched as his ghostly companion was knocked back with just one punch from the beast. His body spun about in the air before crashing against the steel floor beneath, almost as if his body was solid. But how was that possible?
The great Ray Costly, huh? The ghostly detective that has the villains of Atlas Park shivering in their boots. This is who the court sees as a threat. Pathetic.
Ray cried out in pain as he shifted about the rubble that had formed around his form. Every inch of him screamed in pain as he looked down towards his ruined legs. He noticed that they were no longer the usual bluish hue. They were a rich, copper sheen, just like his physical form. Both legs appeared to be broken and bloodied, but how was that possible? Ray wanted to scream, and finally he did wail. He had forgotten all about pain, and unfortunately, it appeared that this servant of Archimedes was more than willing to give him a refresher course.
Yes, Ray Costly, scream. Scream for the whole world to hear. Hell, do it for the multitude of worlds while you're at it. Let every soul that has ever existed know the pain and the fear of those that the court deems a virus.
Other Ray, you gotta do something. Already on it, Dale.
Without a second thought, Other Ray bursted into a full sprint towards the gigantic beast before him, the undead detective screaming like a banshee as he did so. With this undead form came an unnatural amount of strength and endurance. Other Ray could take on an entire army if he wanted to. But he was no match for what was standing in front of him.
I almost forgot about the other you. How foolish of me.
Moving faster than the speed of light, the Titan had punched through Other Ray's stomach, leaving the zombie to clutch at his new wound before collapsing to the ground, silent and still. Ray watched in horror as his companion and friend toppled over, not seeming to be breathing anymore.
You know how this happened, right? How you became a ghost and your body somehow seemed to gain a mind of its own? Did you really think that Dr. Phantasmo, an idiot by any measure, could create a gun all on his own that could do something like that? No. No. He stole from the Mad King himself, stole Archimedes' knowledge of the infinite worlds trapped in the web. Do you really think that decaying form is yours from this world?
What are you saying?
That thing you call Other Ray is just you from a different world, a different dimension. Phantasmo ripped him from his world, and now you two have been living a lie this whole time. You lost your body, Ray. It was destroyed. You died. There was never a chance for you to regain your life. There was never a chance you'd see your physical form again. Well, at least, not until now.
As he spoke, Archimedes' servant moved towards the broken, no longer ghostly detective. He loomed over Ray Costly, one hand shifting and morphing into a giant hammer, a nail jutting out of it, pointing down at Ray.
Archimedes has given the court, the power to shift and bend reality as well as our own forms. I can do anything. I can be anything. Sure, I could have simply wiped your ghostly form off this world. I could have made your entire existence forgotten, but where's the fun in that? Especially when I can just grant you your old body back so I can show you what real pain is.
It appeared that the Titan was going to pulverize the newly made body of Ray Costly, but before he could swing the mighty hammer down, the Titan froze, letting out a deep scream of intense pain. Before Ray's eyes, the Titan morphed and squirmed about, twitching violently as his body grew smaller and smaller until it collapsed in on itself, vanishing from our world completely. There, standing behind him, was Professor DETHORN, holding a single hand out while the other clutched at his stomach, greenish liquid pooling from a wound created by the Titan. How?
Don't talk. I need to fix all of this. Just know that Archimedes isn't the only one who can manipulate reality.
Ray didn't quite understand all that was going on. Everything he knew was supposedly wrong. The zombie companion he believed to be his old body was not his at all. It was another Ray, torn away from his own world, his own home. Did other Ray even know about this? Was it possible he didn't remember a damn thing? As Ray pondered this, DETHORN not only fixed his legs, but returned his form back into its ghostly shape.
There was no way you were going to keep any sort of reality stability with that physical form. You wouldn't be able to maintain yourself in this world. Sorry, but there's no way you'll ever have a living body again.
You know, a couple months ago I would have fought you on that, but pain sucks. It really sucks. I'm totally fine being a ghostly detective again. Thanks, DETHORN.
Don't mention it. Now, let's fix up other Ray and get out of here. Archimedes will be in this world at any moment.
A sure thing.
Oh, and Ray, don't ever tell other Ray what you heard here. He can't know that he's from another reality. That knowledge could break him. He could have all his memories come back in one violent burst and leave him mentally broken. If you care for him, you won't let him suffer that pain.
Yeah, don't worry. I want to forget this whole thing. The two shared a knowing glance before going to work to get other Ray breathing once again. With a little bit of work, DETHORN was able to fix all of his wounds, leaving the undead detective in the world of the living once again. Now, they needed to leave. Archimedes was coming, and all three of them needed to be there to stop him.
Dale, are you going to be okay here? There shouldn't be any more interruptions of the tentacle kind.
Yes, don't worry about me. Just get to Jenny and send Archimedes back to whatever hell he's found himself in.
Don't you worry, Dale. We're going to make everything right. Right, Ray?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. We'll get everything back to normal. Just normal.
You okay?
Yeah, totally fine. Come on. We don't have a car, so we're going to have to call a cab.
No need. I have a car out back we can take.
And with that, our three heroes raced towards Atlas Park's police station, preparing themselves for what could be the battle of a lifetime.
Time's up, Jenny. Now we meet your maker.
From the portal that had formed in the police station, a towering, looming figure poured its way into our world. The way its body moved, it was like it was made of water. It was unnatural, but in the most beautiful way possible. The creature was clad in black robes, traces of red running along the seams. Its head was a flaming skull, its mouth opened in a constant expression of anger. Atop the flames hung a crown that glistened with gold and silver. This was Jenny's father, the mad King Archimedes, in the flesh. Well, what was left of his flesh. He took a moment to gain his bearings before he began to speak in a voice that sounded like a chorus of whispers speaking in unison.
My beautiful darling Jenny, alive and well I see. Tell me, how has Dale been treating you all these years?
Jenny did not open her mouth. She barely looked upon her father.
Still so rebellious. There's my little girl. Come now, no need to be so angry with me. I'm here to make everything all right after all, to give you the life you always deserved. All I need is a little help from you, that's all. Oh, and also your willingness to kill everything you've ever known and loved. Not too much to ask for now, is it?
Jenny shuffled back a few steps, still trying to figure out a way to lose this muzzle upon her face. Archimedes noticed her struggle and laughed, placing a hand to his stomach.
Come now, Jenny. No need to act like this. You're a big girl now. You need to be brave. You need to make hard decisions like blowing up this entire world, for instance. I remember the first world I destroyed. Such a marvelous feeling that. Trust me when I say, it only gets more and more exciting with each reality you pluck from existence. I'm growing impatient to begin, Jenny. So let's just cut to the part where you follow your father back to his kingdom. No questions asked.
Archimedes walked towards Jenny, hands outstretched, reaching for the muzzle. With a click, it was gone, thrown over his shoulder and into the portal.
I'm terribly sorry about the muzzle, my sweet child. But Belix was worried you might try and do something stupid. You won't do anything foolish around your father now, will you? No, you won't, because deep down you know that all you have to do is make one wrong step, and I will see to it that your body and soul are vanished from reality. Isn't that right, sweetie?
Jenny parted her lips, tendrils wiggling about as she mumbled something in her eldritch tongue.
What was that, my dear?
Jenny mumbled again, this time only slightly louder.
I can't hear you. Speak up when your father asks.
Jenny opened her mouth a third time, but now she was no longer speaking in her foreign tongue. This time, her message was clear. You really shouldn't have done that, Father. Before Archimedes could react, Jenny's tendrils shot from her, the black appendages slithering about, knocking over everything in sight. When one would crash against the cell where Phantasmo and Sliceable resided, the metal crumbled and bent around the impact, causing the two villains to leap back in sheer terror. You really shouldn't have done that, Father. Belix tried to stop the girl, but he was knocked back into the portal, screaming in pain. Archimedes stared down his daughter and snarled, lifting his hands in the air.
You pathetic little whelp! How dare you speak to your maker like that?
No words were spoken as Jenny's tentacles slapped and wrapped around Archimedes' form, squeezing the life out of him. The Mad King struggled and cried out, but it was all for naught. Soon the life ran from his eyes, and his body collapsed onto the ground in a dead heap. Jenny stood over the form of her father, looking into the portal as it began to close. Coward. Couldn't even face me properly. Sending a mirage? Well, the next time you want to fight, you better bring your whole army with you. This is my world. I have friends here. I have my dad here. You don't get to tell me what to do, Archimedes. You've lost the privilege of being my father. A scream came from inside the portal, but it was too late. It closed, leaving the police station in complete darkness until the lights came back on. Jenny visibly relaxed, her eyes pointing towards Phantasmo and Sliceable.
Don't hurt us.
Yeah, what he said. Please don't hurt us. We don't even want to leave.
Yeah, we like it here. So cozy.
And we have our own toilets. What more could we ask for?
Jenny just rolled her eyes before turning towards the door when the two Rays and an odd-looking man with a glass for a head stepped in. The three looked confused that there was no Mad King here, no portal to some unknown realm of hell. Jenny went about trying to explain it all to them, her eldritch tongue coming back. Soon the message was clear. Jenny had kept Archimedes at bay for now, but there was no telling when or if he would return. That seemed to satisfy the two Rays, but DETHORN kept a quiet, quizzical air about him. The four left the police station, met up with Dale, and decided to have a nice Cheeser's Day feast at Dale's house. There they laughed, cried, and tried to get back to their normal lives. Deep in the pits of the nowhere, a world outside the web of realities, the Mad King Archimedes sat in silence, Belix shivering and mumbling apologies under his breath.
Belix!
Yes, my king.
How much longer until we can set up another portal?
Honestly, sir, it could take years, decades. The energy we used was almost enough to rip the nowhere in two. Another portal could leave us without a home to come to.
So, now we wait in silence as my daughter and her friends grow stronger. Needless to say, Belix, your incompetence baffles and saddens me.
Yes, my king. I am truly sorry.
Don't you dare grovel in front of me, Belix. You are not even worthy of that. Leave my sights for now. I shall decide what to do with you shortly.
Yes, my king. As you wish.
Belix left Archimedes' chambers, leaving the Mad King to his own devices. A screen appeared before Archimedes, displaying an image of DETHORN wiping one of his court members out of existence.
And who are you, little man, who knows the secrets of the Allverse? Have you seen her as well, the Cosmic Infinite? If that's so, then I believe my Court of Red will need to deal with you before you get out of hand.
Archimedes laughed as screens opened up all around him, displaying his courts and all the various worlds they had taken over.
My dearest Court of Red, we have faced a setback, but no matter. We have a new goal to accomplish. There is one out there who can manipulate the web like we do, and we must not let him breathe for much longer. My command to you, my honored court, is to rid us of this man, this Professor Maximilian DETHORN.
All of the court nodded in unison, their screens turning off until the Mad King Archimedes was left in darkness, laughing with pure delight.